Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CAGCast episode number 505. I'm your host, Cheapy here in Long Island, New York. And as always, we are joined by the man with the plan to get free stuff, Wombat.
I am actually impressed that we timed our palindrome-numbered episode during Palindrome Week.
And I said, man with a plan. Is that a palindrome? No.
I don't think that's a palindrome,
Something...
but it rhymes.
Oh, Alexa thought it was something because she's talking to me now.
Yeah, so there you go. We're like in sync with the calendar. It was intentional. We did that intentionally.
We'll also not be talking about anything but games published by 505 Games this episode.
Well,
perfect.
Games like things I know I like. But
you play those games, the Sniper Elite games.
Yes, Sniper Elite. I always think of Rebellion. That's why.
Mm-hmm. And Payday 2. Abzu.
I like Abzu, actually. That's a good game, too. Someone I know just bought that game.
I did.
I tried to buy it, but I was too slow.
I got in on it on the first time Prime Day has been successful.
We'll save that for later. I have that on the outline.
Perfect.
For later talking.
I mean, I already owned Abzu, though, so whatever. We'll get to that later.
You should lend that to me.
I have it digitally. It was free with PS Plus. How did you not get it?
Somebody didn't tell me to get it. It's probably your fault.
I'm pretty sure that game was free for everyone.
Yeah, I think I have it on PlayStation Plus as well. But
yeah.
All right.
What are you going to do?
Not play
I don't know. It's a cute game.
Right.
Anyway. Here to there.
Yeah, welcome to the show, everybody. We had the week off last week. It's summertime, so living is easy, and schedules may free up for vacation and whatnot. But the most important question that everybody has on their minds is, how did Wombat like his E3 swag bag?
The headphones are amazing. Those they're Lucid Sound something 20s. I think it's LC 20s actually, or something like that.
Probably LS 20s.
LS? Yes, I said LC. You can tell that I'm totally with it tonight.
You should have a nice big coffee like I'm having right now.
But they're really good headphones, and they've become my just regular headphones. I wear them on the train.
Wow.
So because they're over the ear headphones. They're relatively big, but they're not clunky, and they sound really good.
That was part of the Pactor bag.
Yes.
That we spoke about.
I'm happy with mine as well.
Mm-hmm.
I have not listened to mine yet.
Wow, they're good. I recommend it.
Well, what about the t-shirt selection?
The t-shirt selection is all right. Oh, I'm not wearing one of them. I was wearing one of them yesterday. I think it was the Nerd to the Core that was on it. I wore that one yesterday.
That was the Intel t-shirt from the PC Gamer Show. And they just had those shirts like draped over the seats in the audience in the theater there. So you could just take them at will. But, I mean, Shipwreck and I both looked at that and just were like, oh my God. Only Wombat would wear this, basically.
I wore the Burger Time shirt to my hike when we went hiking, and that went over well. A lot of people. It was funny because we were on the trail, and people would jog past us and go Burger Time. So
really,
yeah, out in the middle of literally in the middle of nowhere, Fire Island, hiking to the lighthouse, and it's like it's like a good. It's not that far. It's like 3/4 of a mile the walk. But, people like to jog it, and they're like jogging, and people, like at least 4 people would point it and went, Burger Time.
Wow.
It just kept going with their.
That is pretty, yeah, I'm pretty upset that I did not get one of those shirts that you wound up getting.
You could borrow mine anytime you want.
Great.
It's kind of amazing that Burger Time has had a lasting legacy.
Yeah, because really, it's not like that game's getting remastered or re-released.
It did have that reimagining, like back on Xbox 360 time frame.
Sure did.
Mm-hmm. I remember that, but again, that's 360 time frame.
It wasn't great.
Well, they're coming out with My Arcade's coming out with like the little mini Burger Time cabinet thing, right?
Yeah,
that's what we saw.
Yep. That was the basis for the T-shirt. I'm pretty sure the inspiration behind it. What about those? I forgot we got you some nice Devolver T-shirts. I remember. Those are like the pastel colored ones.
Oh yeah, those are kind of cool. Is that what that is?
Yeah, you can't even. They don't look like nerdy. They look like just like designer
like
shirts.
T-shirts. Yeah, the blue one is cool. I wore the black one the other day. So.
All right.
And the Call of Duty hats. I got 2 Call of Duty World War II hats. And Sabrina really likes that hat, so she wears that. She's worn it to camp.
It's such an odd hat to wear.
Well, it is such an odd hat to wear, and that's
just
why I'm like,
World War II.
Woohoo, World War II. Big fan.
And I think she gets that, which is why she likes to wear it.
Did anybody jog by you saying World War II?
No. Like I said, she wears it to camp. She hasn't worn it hiking.
Right.
So, but yeah. So I think, but again, she wears it because also like that. I think she's in on the joke. So
yeah, I'm sure. What else did you get in there? I don't even know.
I think that's. I mean, and the cow.
You got a cow?
The cow.
Oh, the
Natsumi.
Harvest Moon cow.
Yeah, the Harvest Moon cow.
Oh,
from our friends at Natsumi.
You got a shirt. What'd you get? Did we get you the gamer.com or .gamer?
Yes. I think that one is in there too. There were only like 4 shirts.
That was all that they had at E3 really this year.
Yeah, I was gonna say it wasn't like I'm not poo pooing it. And that graphic novel was
and then wasn't there a shirt from there was definitely another shirt in there, like from the same publisher that made that. Like, of course, I can't remember it. The game where you're shooting mummies.
Oh, that was like a little bag. It wasn't a shirt.
There was a shirt in there.
No, there was no shirt in the Strange Brigade bag.
Oh, it was a bag.
Yep, Strange Brigade bag.
Couldn't you cut out holes in it and turn it into a shirt?
And wear it as a shirt? Yes.
Right.
I'm sure.
Just so I could be right.
We should have gotten him one of those big like body length bags and done that. Just cut holes in it.
Right, they're overalls. Come on, just cut out some holes for legs and you're good to go.
It would have made for a funny picture because I would have done it and posted it because I'm an asshole.
Here's the shirt I got from E3.
Look at the shirt the guys got me. Isn't it great? Wearing it to work.
It stays on with a rope.
Picture of me on the train wearing it.
With your giant headphones.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I would like to just bring that back as a bag too. Like that's the bag you're bringing into work with your stuff.
My laptop would be in it.
Yeah, you've got to actually bend down and actually get into the bag. Like you'd be halfway submerged in the bag, getting your laptop out.
Those bags don't exist outside of E3. I think outside of a trade show, I've never seen anybody.
I was going to say outside of a trade show. I'm sure they have them at PAX and San Diego Comic-Con.
I mean, you don't see them on the street. As a bag that somebody's using to carry their stuff in.
Right. I've never seen anybody just walking around with it.
With a giant bag, like a 5-foot tall bag. It's pretty crazy. So I went to Iceland last week, which was pretty cool. I recommend that as a vacation spot, especially if you live in the New York area. Or actually,
more or less boring than Hawaii.
Hawaii is not boring. It's just that I went there many times. So Shipwreck already used that joke on me.
I know he did.
And you just recycled it. So shame on you, first of all. I have to call you out for that.
That's totally worthwhile.
Mrs. Cheapy planned the trip mostly because it's very close to New York. It's only it's less than a 5-hour flight out there, which was surprising to me. I don't know if you were familiar with the geography there, but
I am not.
That is like an exotic locale that you can visit in a relatively short plane ride.
How's the nightlife?
I mean, there's no light. There is no night, rather.
I know, that was why I brought it up.
It gets a little dark.
Question.
It starts to get dark, close to midnight, I guess. But it never gets to be nighttime dark.
Is it hard to sleep?
You want a hotel that's got blackout curtains and that don't leak the light in. They have to be sort of well done in that way. But no, we just sort of figured out that, close the blinds about an hour before you're ready to go to bed. And, we did so much walking because primarily what you do there is you drive around to these different naturalistic wonders, and you do a lot of walking, to get to them once you park the car. So we were pretty tired by the end of the day. You walk, 20,000 steps, you're going to probably not have that much trouble sleeping. But I mean, you see like a lot of amazing waterfalls, and there's active volcanoes there, so there's a lot of lava rocks and crazy yellow moss that grows on these rocks. Just landscapes that you wouldn't see really anywhere else. It's really unique in that way. It's almost like being on another planet in some of these spots. And it's actually like several different planets, because depending on where you are in the country, you could see like just, cliffs, green cliffs with, grass growing on them, and waterfalls, or you could see like what looks like the moon basically with just these, black lava rocks, as far as you can see, all kinds of different sort of landscapes. So I don't know, we really enjoyed it and had a really good time. Ate a lot of good food. They're famous for their lamb there. I don't know if you know that, but there's more lamb than people there by like twice the amount, basically. So that was pretty good.
What's the national dish of Iceland?
It's some like different fish dishes, basically. They have had some good lox there. They have what's like a fake lobster, like these small lobsters called langoustines.
Langoustines, yes.
Yeah,
they
they're
have them in other places,
but they're so good there.
Mm-hmm.
In other places, they taste like a shitty lobster or like a big shrimp, but there it has its own sort of taste. Everything's very pristine there. There's no pollution there. So their water is like the best drinking water in the world. There were a lot of Chinese tourists there because, well, we didn't know why. We just kept seeing Chinese tourists everywhere. And we didn't really know why it was, because we weren't seeing so many Japanese tourists or other Asian tourists, but Chinese people, they were just everywhere. We looked it up, and they're basically inspired to go there because of the clean air, and they're going for like a lung cleansing because their air is so polluted there. But I don't know, it was a really cool trip. Things are expensive there. Like the food is very expensive there. I mean, everything is pretty expensive there. But they did just get a Costco. The guy the taxi driver from the airport was telling us how they just opened a Costco there, and there was just such a demand for things that weren't like ridiculously expensive that the Costco sold out of everything in like a day or two, and they had to wait for the Costco to get restocked. But I would totally recommend Iceland as a trip. I think if you're in the Pacific Northwest, it's also pretty close. It's a pretty close flight. It's only like an hour farther than Boston, if you're flying from there. So I don't know. I would recommend it. It was pretty fun. We saw geysers, which was cool. And if you want to see some really good pictures, I already posted. Google Iceland. Yeah, there's no real reason to just like look at Mrs. Cheapy's pictures. They're everywhere.
You'll find lots of really nice pictures.
Right. Like we had like we had a lot of really good meals, but there was one in particular that was really good. This place called Grill Market, and I was gonna take pictures of all the food, and then like I saw like on the Google Maps there were so many photos already of all the food. I didn't take any pictures. I took one picture of the dessert, I think, and that was it.
What you're not telling all the listeners is that all these places have silent J's in them.
Right. Like Reykjavik.
Yeah.
And Flugenslaven.
And Costco is spelled Cosjco.
There's a lot of Europeans who go there on vacation, so I was hearing a lot of like Scandinavian languages, I guess. I don't know. A lot of things that sounded like fjord and Flugenslaven, like a Swedish chef.
Yes.
So between that and the Chinese, it was a nice contrast. And one weird thing about all the Chinese tourists was they smell like mothballs. you can smell them coming. Like if you'll be sitting eating breakfast, and all of a sudden you'll smell mothballs, and you'll look up and you'll see like a group of Chinese people just walk by.
I can't tell if that's racist or not.
It's not. I think because it was everywhere. I think it's maybe like their cold weather clothes. They put them in storage and they use mothballs. I don't know. We haven't really figured that one out yet. But it was definitely mothballs. It wasn't like they smelled like mothballs. They smelled. There were mothball smell on them. It wasn't.
I can't. It's been so long since I've smelled a mothball that it like has no frame of reference for me.
Oh,
For
you
real?
would know it if you would know.
Yeah. When's the last time you smelled a mothball? Are you using mothballs?
No. But
No,
you
I
smell
only buy female moths.
old people sometimes you smell, if you see old people.
I feel like old people that are now dead use mothballs and nobody is using mothballs anymore.
In China the business is booming. It was really unbelievable. Like I'm not exaggerating, you would not be looking and you would smell mothballs and you wouldn't even need to look up. You'd be like, oh, the Chinese people are here.
Amazon sells them.
Yeah, oh, I'm sure it's still a thing. I think they have a lot of bugs in China. That must be the problem.
There are a lot of bugs everywhere. I'm not sure if you're aware of this.
I guess. At our Kaislin wanted to know if I got any negative reaction for being an American in Iceland. Like because of Trump, you mean? Like, I don't know what he means. But no, nobody cares.
I think so.
I think that tourism is such a big business there. I mean, it's a really small country in terms of the population. It's only like 300,000 people living there in the whole fucking country. So I think that they're happy that the tourism is booming. I think it's pretty vital to their economy. But it is pretty amazing to just drive. You can rent a car and drive on basically what's a 2-lane road. 1 lane in each direction, and the road just seems to go forever across these amazing landscapes and up mountainsides. And I don't know, it's a pretty great experience. And Mrs. Cheapy did a fantastic job planning the trip. That's like her thing. So if you need travel advice, just ask Mrs. Cheapy.
Okay.
Yes, and while Ty did not go with us to Iceland. He was in sleepaway camp. But he's back now. He went for 2 weeks, and we got 2 letters from him the whole time. He was too busy to write letters. He told me. I wrote him 7 letters. I got 2 letters, and one of them I got after he came back. But I started to run out of things to write to him about because it's not like we weren't in Iceland for most of the time, so it's only so many times I could tell him what I had for dinner and stuff. So I started sending him like Overwatch news and telling him like the patch notes and things like that, and I would type the letters up on my computer because my handwriting is kind of messy and it's just easier for me to type. And also I could pad the letters out by including photos to make
I thought you were going to use like double space or something.
No, I didn't need to do that because of the photos. So I would include different photos and including like I complained to him one time that I opened up a loot box in Overwatch and I had it was all dupes in the loot box. And I was explaining to him how they're fixing that anyway. And apparently he left the letter out on his bunk when he went to take a shower or something, and one of the older kids in the bunk saw it, and he couldn't believe that like somebody's dad was writing him a letter.
It is nerdy,
right? But yeah, basically no. But so when we picked up Ty from the at the end of camp, all the kids in his bunk wanted to meet me. Because like I was the cool dad that plays video games, they think I play video games for a living. So I was the cool dad, and the kids like were coming up to me afterwards, and the kids were like 12 or 13. He's like, I just couldn't believe that you sent a letter about Overwatch dupes, and he's like, I want to talk to you about No Man's Sky, and like they wanted to like about like the failure of No Man's Sky, and like
okay,
yeah,
all right.
I was like, oh, you really like No Man's Sky? And he was like, no. I want to talk about like how it bombed out. So it was pretty fun. So I was the cool dad. So that felt pretty good.
Way to go, cool dad.
Thank you. It was exciting for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We're all proud.
Thank you.